Hello, welcome to episode 2.
Here's our blanket, excellent.
An asymmetrical twist. Dropping and sinking.
Notice how
So just notice. Joining us for the second episode of next week. Namaste. Hello and welcome to episode 10 of Namaste Yoga. I'm here with my friends today, Mai Merritt of 123kidsyoga.com and Lurleen Anderson of organizeyourworld.ca. Today we're going to be continuing with our series of classes to connect with the autumn season here in the Northern Hemisphere. And we're going to be working with the large intestine, as the large intestine is one of the dominant organs of the autumn season. So today's class will be focusing on letting go and movement down and out through the large intestine. So go ahead and rest back. Lie down on your backs for Shavasana. Okay, so in Shavasana, begin by feeling the body resting into the ground. And see how much you can let go as the body rests into the mat. Feel the shoulders, the arms, the torso, the hips, the legs. Feel them all letting go, surrendering to gravity, releasing. Feel the muscles sink down into the ground. Let the bones sink through the muscles. And just see how much of the back of the body can sink into the ground. Feel the parts of the back of the body that are connecting to the ground. And see if they could rest into the ground a little bit more. Allow gravity to take the body. And feel yourself supported by the ground underneath you. And then focus in on your breathing. And the breath can be a good way to practice this idea of movement out of the body, letting go. So as you breathe, really focus in on the breath out and allow the breath out to lengthen nice and long. And as you breathe out, see if the breath out can be a real release rather than efforting the breath out. So over the next few breaths, just allow the exhalation to get longer and longer. And then bring your awareness to your thinking mind, your emotions, but particularly the thinking mind. I think we have something crazy like 60,000 or 90,000 thoughts a day. I think maybe 60,000, and about 95% of them are repeated thoughts. So we could probably let go of a few of those. So as you breathe, imagine the thoughts traveling out on the breath. They're sinking down into the earth. And just see if there's any recurring thought patterns that you want to let go of now. And then take a moment to set an intention for your practice today. So notice what's going on in your life right now, bring some awareness to that, and what it is that you bring to your mat today. And take a moment to consider how your yoga practice, this next hour of yoga, could best serve you in your life. And then when you're ready, you can start to stretch out. And we're going to begin today lying down on your backs. And we're going to start with the classic pose for letting go. It's called wind relieving pose, apanasana. We're going to bend the right knee, and we'll draw the right knee into the chest. And as we do that, you want to really think about, it's actually into the chest is probably a really poor way of describing it. But really allow the right leg to sink into that large intestine. That you're actually pressing on the large intestine here. So this will really help to move waste down and out of the body. So we'll lower that right leg to the ground and slide it out. And I want you to feel the difference between the right and the left leg now. So just noticing how that right leg is probably dropped down into the ground a little bit more. And then once you've taken that moment for some awareness, then we'll bring the left leg in and hug the left leg into your chest. And then releasing that left leg down and resting with both legs on the ground here. Okay, let's slide the right leg in and slide the left leg in so both knees are bent. And we're going to do a pose that will help to lengthen out the large intestine. So we'll start with the right leg. We're going to, and you want to be really careful with this pose, be very mindful of the knees. You should feel the stretch in the belly of the muscle and not in the joints. So along the top of the thigh and up into the hip. But you're going to internally rotate the right leg and turn it toward the ground. And more important than the right knee coming to the ground is to lengthen it long out of the pelvis. Yeah, so other way. Yeah, in. So this is an interesting pose, and oftentimes it doesn't get taught. Because it tends to be a pose where we have to be very mindful of the knees. And the funny thing about it is, though, that it's actually a very, very good pose for the knees, despite it being one that we have to be very careful of. So that's really good. And so really more important than, eventually the knee will come to the ground, but, we're yogis. We're not in any hurry for anything. It's nice to put a block or something under here. We didn't grab any blocks, or a rolled up blanket is good just to support the knee. So yeah, if we can get 2 blankets, that would be good, so I can show you how to prop this. because really the less struggle there is in this pose, the better. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so that can be really nice because then it can rest a little more, right? Propping is so great to work with props. It just allows the body to rest, and when the body rests, it can heal, right, Lurleen? Lurleen's just been through a huge healing. Does that feel better too? Yeah, so it's really nice to work with propping in this pose, and really nice and safe for the knees then. So you just want to be very mindful that there's no pain on the inside of the knees and that you really feel the stretch on the belly of the muscle. Okay, so let's do this on the other leg too. I knew this one was going to be tighter. I don't know why I knew that. I just folded that blanket more for you. Nice. So yeah, whenever I assist this one, I always assist by lengthening rather than pushing the knee down. Because generally people are where they can be already, right? So you can see in this pose how by creating length along here, if the legs are like an extension of the large intestine, then by doing a lengthening here, you're actually lengthening the large intestine, which is really nice. Because a nice relaxed large intestine is one that's going to be able to release and let go more easily too. And this seems to be something that we as humans have trouble with. Letting go. We enjoy acquiring. Letting go, not so much. Good. Okay, so we can release that. And then we're going to and be very careful coming out of the poses too, because that tends to be where it's more challenging. Okay, so from here we're going to draw the right knee in again, and we're going to hold on to the top of the foot. So you're doing a reclined lunge here. So again, pressing onto that large intestine, but really also focusing on lengthening out the leg that's still on the ground. And you may need a strap for that one. So especially if you're struggling in any way, it's nice to grab a strap. So would it be nicer for you with a strap, Lurleen, because it's right beside you? Because then the shoulders would be able to rest on the ground a little more. And we'll do this one with the knee bent, full flexion in the knee too. So, yeah, nice. Is that a little easier? Yeah. Okay, and then we'll release that right leg. And again, we'll take a moment to notice, wow, how much longer the right leg feels, and maybe also how the right side of the pelvis feels more dropped too. Okay, and then we'll draw the left leg in, so the knee's bent, and then the foot comes up, and it's a full knee flexion. So it's just like doing lunge pose on your back. Okay, and then release that left leg down. Great. And begin to feel the legs lengthening out, sinking into the ground, and just notice if there's any ripple up effect that you're noticing up into the torso, around the belly, and especially the large intestine, which goes up from the right hip bone across the body and down from the bottom of the left rib cage down to the left hip bone. So we worked with that a little bit last week too, and we're continuing on with that idea, and so really working on releasing and letting go here. Okay, let's do crocodile twist. So how about we bend the right knee, left leg stays long. We're going to take the arms out to the side in a soft T. And then the way that I like to come into it is to press my right foot into the ground so my hips lift up a bit, and then I can tuck my left hip under and cross my right leg over the body. We'll look over the right shoulder. Nice. So twists are excellent for the large intestine. It's that action of twisting, which helps to move waste through the body. And then we'll gently untwist. So you'll have to press your foot into the ground again to unravel the hip. And then sliding the right leg out. And just again, checking in, noticing how the right side of the body feels all the way up from the hip, up through the shoulder and arm. And then we'll slide the left leg in, left knee's bent, left foot flat on the floor. And we're going to press the left foot into the ground. Tuck the right hip under, cross the left leg over the right, looking over the left shoulder. Great, looking really good. You want to stay really long through the back of the pelvis here. So a little bit of pelvic tilt can always be good here to keep length in the low back. Okay, and then we're going to come back. Center will release that. Great. And just bring the legs out long again. And we're going to do just a little release through the hips to help us for the next pose we're going to do and some of the poses that we're going to do when we're standing. So more in preparation. So if you can bend both knees, and we'll cross the right leg over the left leg and really open up that right knee, and then we'll draw the left knee into the chest. So you can hold on the hamstring, or more is to hold on the shin. And many people will have to use a strap here too, reaching around through the legs and holding on that way, and that's just great too. So we're going to be working with Supta Pandangusthasana today, and then also we're going to be doing it standing Hasta Pandangusthasana. So this is a nice pose to get the hips ready for all that movement of the leg through the hip joint. And then we'll slowly lower that leg down, and we'll bend the right leg, crossing the left leg over the right leg, really opening up that left knee, And we'll breathe in and breathe out. Bring the right leg in. So again, holding on the hamstring, especially if there are any knee issues, hamstring's the best. Or holding on the shin. Or, yeah, wrapping your strap around is really nice too. Okay, and then we'll release the legs down, and let's just keep both knees bent, and we'll bring the right knee in. You can use your strap to put your strap around the right foot. We'll extend the right leg straight in the air, and then we'll lengthen that left leg out and long. Great. So Supta Padangusthasana, the start of it. And in this pose, we'll work with focusing on lengthening through the leg that's long on the ground, too. The traveling leg. It's from all your traveling, my... And fully extending through the back of the knee. Good, looks good. This is such a great stretch. I don't think we can do this stretch too much. So we'll really focus on keeping the legs straight and then drawing it in and keeping it straight. How's that hamstring? That's a good stretch, right? Really good stretch. I think there was about 2 years where I did this pose probably every day. And it felt, it feels like nothing's happening. And then all of a sudden, it was released. Yay, finally. Letting go, released. Okay. So from here, we'll take that right leg out to the side, keeping the left leg heavy on the ground. And then we'll carefully bring it back center. And cross the leg over a little bit. Great. And just be really mindful of your body right now. Just noticing, being careful with it. I was thinking about one of my friends last week said to me, when you stretch, you don't always have to go full out, full tilt. And honestly, when she said that to me, it was like a novel idea. I had never really considered not going all the way to the edge in a stretch before. But it's okay, especially if you're working with injuries, to be mindful and be careful and maybe to stretch, but not to go full out. Okay, and then we'll release that right leg down and just feel the difference between the right leg and the left leg, the right side of the pelvis, the left side of the pelvis, and the right large intestine and the left large intestine. Okay, and then we're going to do the whole thing on the other side, and just wait because you get to do it all standing up too. It's your lucky day. Okay, so we're going to inhale, we're going to exhale, lengthen that left leg up, really opening up through the space at the back of the knee. Grounding down through the back of the pelvis. And then we'll open that left leg out to the side. Sinking through the right hip. And then, carefully bringing it back center and keeping the back of the pelvis on the ground, crossing the leg over. And you should feel this stretch very intensely along the outside of the left leg here. And if not, you want to draw it in towards you a little more. Great. Okay, so we're going to gently release that. Whew. Check those legs out. And also feel the length through the torso. Okay. From here, we'll bend the knees and we'll roll to the side and we'll make our way up onto all fours. Okay, so we are going to do lunge pose to lengthen out the front of the hips and in turn also lengthening out the large intestine. So this floor tends to be a little hard, so you might want to create a double up on your mat, and same for you at home too, depending. A lot of times at home there's carpets. Carpets are nice to practice on until you stand up. But until that point, they're lovely. Okay, we're gonna come up onto your knees. And let's walk the left leg through first into lunge pose. So you're lengthening out the ascending colon here. That's it, perfect. So leaning forward, lengthening out that large intestine. And then we're going to switch. So we'll bring the left leg back and we'll walk the right leg through, and this will help to lengthen out the descending colon. Great. All right, now we're going to come back and we're going to do squatting pose. Okay. Tucking the toes under, and you want your feet to be right underneath the sit bones. So the feet are in more than probably maybe you might be used to in this pose. And then your heels may be able to reach the ground, but most people's Achilles are too tight for that. We're going to open the knees and put the body between the legs and then close the knees around the body again. And this pose is probably the other classic pose for elimination next to Apanasana pose. So really helps to open up the body for releasing waste. Okay, so from here, we're going to come up to standing from a squat position. So take the body out, bring the knees back center, and then you're going to start to straighten out the knees, sink the heels towards the ground, and then you can lengthen out through the legs. And from here, we'll slowly roll up through the spine, bone by bone by bone. Okay, now we're going to do Hatha Gustasana, but we'll start, these are challenging poses for me anyway. You might want to stand close to a wall so you can have the wall for balance. We might even use the wall for our legs in this pose too. So why don't you go face the camera, and then we'll start by drawing the right. So let's do our left then. We'll draw, you'll draw your right leg up to the chest. So you're hugging that knee in, and we'll just practice that part first, balancing. It's like when I do Hatha Gustasana, I have to take some time to talk myself into it. Yeah, the wall is great. Use the wall. Okay. So from here, I'm getting my nerve up here. This pose isn't probably nearly as hard for you, is it? You probably like it. It's challenging. Okay. So with this pose, you want to be very mindful and just as you would in any other position to really honor your body. And I say this because when I did this, I overdid it a lot about 4 weeks ago when I taught this class. So just be careful and be okay with not being perfect or looking like the book too. So with this pose, we've got straps because you might want them. And you can put your strap around your left foot, and then you're going to lengthen the left leg out. Oh, all that worry over nothing. And it's very nice to use the wall too for this. So you can draw the leg that way too. So it's really interesting because we just did this pose lying down, and it's like a whole other ball game standing up, right? Okay, now from here, sure, let's take a break. Maybe wiggle the hips a little bit. Because from here, we're going to take that leg out to the side. So we'll draw it up. And then we'll lengthen it. And we'll take it out to the side. There we go. concentration. Okay, back to the center. Oh, very good. We survived the first side. I almost never teach these poses because, they're not my favorite. Okay, right leg's done. That means we have to do our right leg now. So that moving on to the left leg, we'll draw the left leg up. Okay, here we go. Think gentle thoughts. Okay, so we've got our straps if you need them. Or you may be able to place your hands around the feet and lengthen the legs out like that. Or classically it's taught by hooking the index finger around the big toe and lengthening the leg out like that. But I'm going to be gentle with myself today and use the strap. Okay, and then take that leg out to the side. And I said we were going to use the wall too, so we're probably going to have to do this again so I can show everybody at home how to use the wall. Isn't that exciting news? You get to do it twice. Okay. Whew. All right. We survived that one round. Okay, Hasta Pandangustasana. You guys have never seen me this riled up, have you? For a pose. This pose, honestly. Do you have any poses like that that make you crazy? Yes. Yeah. So it's interesting, right? To watch what comes up and to work with that too. Okay, how about before we show everybody at home how to do it with the wall, we just do a nice wide leg standing forward fold, just to counterpose that. Okay. Okay, and then slowly up. Okay, so we're going to use this wall over here, and we can all line up. Don't worry about being on your mats. And this is really nice to work with the wall. What we're going to do, it takes a little bit of kind of figuring out where you need to be away from the wall, but we'll take one leg up. And it's nice because you can really, when you use the wall, you can really work with pelvic alignment too, so that the supporting leg is straight, the hip bones are square to the wall, square up and down. And then from here you can also fold over, and we have a nice ledge here. You probably won't have that at home, but do you have a foot that won't stick? It depends on your skin. You need little socks with treads on them. That's okay. You could use the ledge. You could stick your foot right up on the ledge. Your foot just isn't going to stick. Okay, and then you can turn out to the side too. Using the wall is quite nice. Working towards squaring off the hips. And then we can do a side bend over that long leg there too. Lurleen's sticking. No, she's slipping again. I thought she was stuck. We need that stuff like they have in gymnastics, the chalk that you can... Yeah. Yes. I don't know, mine, I have sticky feet, I guess. Okay, so let's try that on the other leg. You can use the strap again if you want. Okay, so we'll bring the right leg up to the wall now and lengthen it out. That's pretty good. For some reason, you and I were both able to find the distance to the wall, but in my experience, it usually takes a few times up and down and moving forward and back a little bit before you find your distance between you and the wall. And then we can fold forward over that leg. Oh, this leg's tighter. Okay, and slowly up, and then we're going to turn sideways. Nice. And working towards squaring off the hips. Excellent. Dropping that tail, sinking through the right sit bone. Oh, and we did a side bend, didn't we, on the other side? Okay, side bend too. Okay, and then slowly up. Okay, release. Oh, that was good. We did it. That felt good. You want to be really careful with these poses. Okay, from here, let's just do a nice forward fold. So we'll just cross the right leg over the left leg. And we'll fold forward here. And in this pose, you want to roll towards the inside of the feet, which is actually rolling out here. So that feels a little strange, maybe. Okay, and slowly up. And we'll switch sides on that. So the left will cross over the right. Good, and we'll fold forward. Okay, and then slowly up. Okay, we're going to come to kneeling now. So in kneeling, we're going to work with a camel pose to lengthen out the large intestines again, to work with that letting go, releasing. So again, you'll probably want to double up your mat so you've got more padding underneath the knees. That feels good. Okay, and then what we're going to do, let's just work with taking our hands on our hips here and really pelvic tilting. Yeah, so the fronts of the hips open up, and then as soon as you do that, you notice that the back starts to bend backwards up and over through the thoracic spine. So elbows back, chin tucked, and just lengthening here. And then we'll come forward into child's pose as a counter pose. Okay, and then slowly up. And we'll come back up to kneeling. Okay. And maybe you can tuck the toes under here at the back unless you tend to get foot cramps, and then that's not so cool. And you don't need to, also if you come into camel really easily, then it just sort of adds a little extra obstacle. But for those people who back bending is a challenge, it's nice because it raises the floor quite a bit for you. So we'll pelvic tilt here. We're going to take the left arm up and over. Look over at that left heel. And then the right arm's going to float up. Nice. Okay, slowly up. Let's take child's pose. After that, stretch at the low back. Okay, and then slowly up, we'll come back up onto the knees. Okay. We'll tuck the tail under, toes maybe too if you want. Long through the low back. We'll inhale, take the right arm up, looking over at the right heel, holding on to the right heel and lengthening the left arm up. Great. And then coming down slowly. And we'll come back into child's pose. Okay. How are you feeling? Do you feel like doing full camel? Yeah? Okay. What do you think, Lurleen? Be gentle. Be careful with yourself. You could do one side still too. And that would be really nice. So particularly, one thing I noticed when I did camel this time was that one side felt way easier than the other. So then it would be very good to go back and do the side that was more challenging. Was there one side that was more challenging? Yes. Okay, so you can go back to that side. Are you ready? We're going to take a deep breath in. Breathe out, pelvic tilt, lengthen up through the spine. You can take the left arm up and over, and then maybe the right too, and reach up and back. Nice. And it's really nice if somebody can hold your head, right? So tuck your chin more. Yeah, so more like that. So there's a long neck. Do you see the difference between that? Do you want to show the other way again? See how much extension there is through the neck here? Here, the neck is long. Does that feel better? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So always practicing the back bends with the chin tucked is really nice. And having somebody hold your head for you is really nice too, eh? Makes a huge difference, yeah. So if you have somebody who can hold your head. Okay, how's that? Are you ready to come out? Yeah. Okay, and then come forward into child's pose. Cowabunga. One of my teachers calls camel the 911 of back bends. Personally, I find wheel to be the 911 of back bends, but that was great. Okay, so from here we'll come up to seated, and we're going to face forward, so you're sitting on your mat the wide way, and we're going to be working with forward fold. So actually, before I face front, I want to just show you, if when you sit your pelvis does this, and this is how forward fold is going to happen for you, then this is actually very counterproductive. So you need to have the pelvis so that it's tipping forward, and one of the easiest ways to do that is to sit up on a blanket. So I know my pelvis tilts forward very easily, so I'll take your blanket behind you. And then Lurleen, I'm not sure about you. How do you look when you put your legs out in front of you? Yeah, so not too bad, but a little bit back. So it would also be good for you to sit up on the on a blanket. Just gives you a little lift, allows the pelvis to tilt forward a bit. So we'll take the legs wide. She's good, she doesn't need one. Okay, yeah, nice. Okay. From here, we're just going to do a little twist here with the wide-legged. Yeah. Twists are great to prepare the body to fold forward. Folding forward is great for that down and out movement that we've been working with today. And then come back center, and we'll twist to the other side. Okay, and then come on back center, and let's actually fold forward here in the center. So in this wide-legged forward fold, it's really important that the pelvis rolls over the femur bones and it's tipped forward. So if the pelvis was a bowl of water, the water would be pouring out the front here. And then we'll come up slowly, and let's bring both legs in front. And I'm going to get everybody at home to bend their left knee or right and open that left knee out to the side. Good. And we'll inhale up nice and tall here. Exhale, draw the belly past the knee to fold forward over that left leg. And good. Here, if forward folds are really challenging too, you can use a strap if you use the strap in a way that helps to create length in the spine. And slowly up, and now we'll take that right leg, your left leg, and cross it all the way over your right leg. Okay, and we'll inhale here. We're going to exhale and fold forward over that right leg. At about this point in our podcast that our cameraman always gets very silly. Right now, he's doing a chicken dance. He's a healthy chicken. He can walk, not falling over because his breasts are too big and crossing legs. Oh, I watched Food Inc. recently. Oh, so sad. Okay, we gotta keep moving on. Don't get me started on chickens. Poor chickens. Okay, and slowly up, we'll bring the legs in, and this time we'll slide your right leg in and open your right leg out to the side. Okay, and we'll inhale here nice and tall. Exhale, bend forward over the left leg. So while we're holding the forward fold, I'll tell you about the chickens a little bit. Yes, it's sad. The poor chickens are so overweight that they can't walk. You take one step and they fall down. Their little legs can't carry them. Okay, and then slowly up, and we'll take the right leg and cross the leg all the way over. Okay, and breathe in, breathe out, and fold forward over that leg. And then slowly up. Good. And I'm going to get you to, how much time do we have left? 2 minutes. Okay, I'm going to get you to lie down for 1 minute. Shavasana. And at home, you can lengthen this time out. If you can lie down for 5 or 10 minutes, that would be really great. So as you rest back in Shavasana, I want you to just notice the way the body rests into the ground now. Become aware of the exhalation again, the breath out. And notice if the body's resting into the ground a little bit more. Notice if the exhalation has more length and greater ease. And then reflect back on your practice today and notice if there was one little thing that you could take with you out into your everyday life, what would that be? And then this week I've been imagining packing it into a little suitcase and carrying it with me out into the world so that we can live our yoga off the mats too. Okay, so I'm going to have our girls here in the studio bend their knees, roll to their side, and come up to seated. And I want to thank my Merit from 123kidsyoga.com and Lurleen Anderson from organizeyourworld.ca again for joining us today. Thank you very much. And thank you to all of you for watching our yoga video podcast each week. Namaste.